Welcome to Views with Hughes, your agenda for news. I'm Jerome Hughes, and Namor is not Atlantean. In the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie, Namor is said, as has been reported to different media outlets in Brazil, that Namor is not Atlantean, but instead he's going to have a Mexican background. Going to talk more about that as well as who's behind it. And if you've been watching lately, it's no surprise. All right, so if you enjoy the content I put up here, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so that way you'll be alerted of more content in the future. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So from an article from Bound into Comics, it says here that Namor actor Tenoch Huerta, forgive me if I mispronounced that name, he was quoted saying at Comic-Con that I wouldn't be here without inclusion. So this, of course, will be a movie on diversity, but I'm afraid that this movie may not be diverse in a correct manner like the first movie was. Diversity in Black Panther was done right, okay? It was done correctly. It wasn't thrown into your face. But with this one, I'm feared that it's actually going to be thrown into your face. Is not going to be genuine. All right. So in other words, the executives at Marvel Studios under Disney are just going to be using this ploy to go ahead and try to make money off of those of us who are minorities. All right. So it says here, Black Panther Wakanda Forever's Namor actor Tenoch Huerta recently claimed at San Diego Comic-Con that he would not have been cast as Namor without inclusion. Moving along, it says that he appeared during the Marvel Studios Hall H panel where BuzzFeed reported that him saying that I'm excited and so happy to be here as it's an honor. I want to say something really fast about inclusion. So he wanted to hear and say that if without inclusion, he wouldn't be here. And also later on, he started speaking in Spanish, speaking to a certain audience where he translated in Spanish and was translated English saying, second thing, sorry, I need to switch to Spanish. Thank you to everybody, all my country folk, all the Latin Americans. You crossed the river and you left everything you love behind. Thanks to that, I am here. Thank you, by the way. Namor is amazing. All right. So Disney is still continuing with the virtue signaling, of course, and he also used his platform to thank those who crossed the river to get here. I'm not sure whether it be through Mexico or even through Puerto Rico or Cuba. All right, but most likely it seems like since he says to cross the river and he left everything behind, he's speaking both like Latin Americans from everywhere, whether it be Mexico, Cuba, Panama, so on and so forth. All right. And, you know, it's understandable. It's not at the same time, not surprising. OK, and he's using his platform to go ahead and spread the message. And yeah, he used the opportunity at Comic-Con. All right, so his comments about inclusion reinforce what Marvel Studios executive Victoria Alonso detailed the company's policy back in June 2021. Okay, so while she was promoting Disney's What If, she proclaimed that from a fiscal point of view, you are leaving money on the table by not representing. So in other words, she feels that whenever there's representation, there's an opportunity to make more money. Now, we all saw from this year under her works and everything that's done by her, namely Doctor Strange, the last Doctor Strange movie, she was behind the casting of America Chavez. All right. How did that do? Not so well in movie theaters. I mean, yeah, granted, it was number one, but after that, it was number two. Okay, so everything that's all the virtue signaling, all the diversity done by her, at least in phase 4. And I guarantee it's going to keep happening in phase 5 and phase 6. Okay, so her being of Argentinian origin herself, she went on ahead, and I made known of this in the last video, that she went on ahead and continued with the virtue signaling, and she climbed up, and she was also responsible for, you know, making everybody in the office not say, X-Men, but referred to them as mutants. And I've gotten into depth into that in the last video. She also stated here that she thinks that 51% of the audience is female and 28% of our audience is Hispanic. If we don't represent the people that watch what we make, eventually they'll go elsewhere because somebody else will figure it out. Now, here's the thing, though. That's 51%. Is that an actual number, or how many more of viewers are black as well as white? All right, and if many of them have already jumped ship and moved along to different things. Okay, now she also stated, and this is her right here, by the way. It's also stated that Marvel Studios' parent company, Walt Disney Company, also stated a policy from their Reimagine Tomorrow campaign, the leaked footage of the meeting that took place where they're trying to promote diversity among those not only with race, but also within the LGBTQ plus community. All right. So Reimagine Tomorrow campaign to have a 50% of regular and recurring characters across Disney General Entertainment scripted content will become from underrepresented groups. All right. So in other words, whether it be black or those who are in the LGBTQ community, as well as other minorities, they're just going to use all of us just to make money. Even if it means to change up a lot of stuff, okay, instead of sticking to the canon itself. And you want to know what's crazy? Many of those within the black community, Hispanic community, Latin community, as well as the LGBTQ community don't want that. I mean, yeah, we want diversity only if it's done correctly. All right. And that's what's led to so many low numbers in the movie theaters, as well as different products not selling and streaming. Okay. And the crazy part about it is they arrogantly continue to put this stuff out there, ignoring what we want. This is not what we want. Okay. Now the goal, it says here, the goal is behind this inclusion policy was not only to grow the company, which is already grown, but make it visible as well, according to the website. And she was also quoted as saying, "We believe that forging meaningful connections with our consumers contributes to the growth and viability of the company. So we purposefully champion a multitude of voices and perspectives." Yeah, that's not what you're doing right now. That is not what you're doing right now. I don't believe that at all. That's because of the fact that with the backlash that you they respond to the audience members who don't want it, stating that, criticizing them, making fun of them, insulting them on social media, and calling them right-wing bigots, saying that don't care about inclusiveness or diversity. That's not having a meaningful connection at all. And we're the consumers. And those you're trying to reach out to, they're the ones that don't want it. This is just another way of saying that they're only paying attention to what Twitter is saying and what they want, rather than consumers as a whole. This movie will be released in November. And before around that time, we're going to see what critics have said. And I guarantee you, many critics may be paid off, may be bought, or I might actually be honest about the movie. Now, I saw the trailer, and the visual effects, they could be better. But as far as the story is concerned, yeah. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Huerta also confirmed the rumors that Namor is inspired by Latin American culture. According to the Brazilian site Chipu, reported back in May that Namor would no longer originate from Atlantis. Rather, the site claimed he would come from a separate underwater region in Central America. They specifically noted he would come from a historic and submerged city of Mexican culture. All right, so now they're trying to say that they don't want to. Now they're saying that they don't want him to get mixed up with the Atlantean superhero from DC Comics, Aquaman. Crazy part about it is that, this is more virtue signaling. We already see it. It's more virtue signaling where they're trying to use a certain culture to promote their product, to get more people to be in tune into their movies, to watch their movies, to buy their movies, to buy their products, so on and so forth. The site also noted that the change was being made so public does not confuse Namor, what I just said, with Aquaman, the character who has an almost identical origin in the comics. We wanted him to be Atlantean. If they want to do this, have at it. But the public outcry that might come from this, it's not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. Stated that it's inspired by Mesoamerican cultures and people who were involved as advisors are regional Mexican scholars, Latin Americans, they call themselves, Latino Americanistas, I'm not sure, yeah. And they made it possible, and the company to produce the production totally open, eager, respectful, smart, and sensitive. I guarantee you Victoria Alonso was behind this too. I wouldn't even be surprised that since she's an executive producer, she might go ahead and take Kevin Feige's place over Marvel Studios under Disney. Crazy part about it, even though Kevin Feige is the face of it and he's still the executive producer, she's the one that's been calling the shots behind the scenes. That's how we got American Pharaoh. That's how we got Miss Marvel. That's how we got the mutants. That's how we got Namor being from a Latin American background. I'm not sure what to make of this anymore, but it's something that I'm not really enthused about. And my enthusiasm about it, the whole thing, the whole Black Panther movie, the whole thing that under Bob Iger that Disney has put out there, I'm not enthusiastic about it. I'll still see the movie, but I'm not going to be too impressed about it. I just got that feeling that it's just going to be the same mess over and over again. More virtue signaling, more allegories where they try to take everything that's current politics and put it into our escapisms. I still say it to recast Chadwick Boseman part of T'Challa for another black actor. They said that they weren't going to recast it. I guarantee you this was only done under the guise of Victoria Alonso, that the next Black Panther should be Shuri. I want to know what you all make of this. Comment below what you think is actually happening. Also, comment below where I went wrong in the video and add some other details of the things that have been discussed. If you enjoy what I said in this video, please smash that like button and also share the video with your friends, family, relatives, so on and so forth on all social media. Also follow me on social media and click the subscription button and click the bell notification for future posts. Until then, peace.